Hi everyone, you're watching Campus France. Thanks a lot to be there with us today. We're going to talk about a French engineering school, UniLaSalle, a school with 4 campuses in Beauvais, Rouen, Rennes, and Amiens. And we are going to explore 4 of its programs: the International Sustainable Engineer, Agribusiness and Food Engineering. It's an engineering program in 5 years. We're also going to discover 3 Masters of Science: the MSc Sustainable Management and Eco-Innovation, the MSc Agricultural and Food Data Management, and the MSc Urban Agriculture and Green Cities. To answer all your questions, I'm here today with you, Anthony Voisine. Hi.
Hello, Guillaume.
Thanks a lot to be there with us. You're the International Recruitment Officer. I'm also with Jenna Khalil, a student International Sustainable Agribusiness and Food Engineering, the ICEF program in year 2. Hi, Jenna.
Good morning.
It's the morning for you?
No, it's the afternoon.
Okay. And we're also with José Ramon Luc Reyes, an alumni of the Master Agricultural and Food Data Management. Hi, José.
Hi, hello, everybody. Nice to be
Thanks.
here with you.
Thanks a lot to be there with us. My first question is for you, Anthony. Can you introduce UniLaSalle?
Yeah, first, thank you for your introduction. So UniLaSalle is an engineering school. As you said, we do have 4 campuses in Rennes, Amiens, Beauvais, and Rouen. So technically, from 1 to 2 hours of Paris. We are a large school. We have now almost 4,000 students. We have 3,800 students. We do propose program taught in English and taught in French. What you should know is also that we are part of the LaSalle network. Maybe some of our students here on the live already heard about this network and were also part of this network, but maybe we'll talk about this also later.
Thanks for the quick introduction. To discover more about the school, we are going to watch a quick trailer and we are coming back just after that. José, my next question is for you. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I am from Écija, it's a little town in Seville, in Spain. I studied bachelor degree and master degree in agricultural engineering at the University of Córdoba, in the south of Spain. After that, I had different experiences working for a small farmer, large farmer, medium farmers in Spain, but also outside in Australia, in Paraguay, and so on. But all these experiences made me think about a common problem, no, of the sector, the agri-food sector. It was the management and use of the data. So that is what led me to look for some program to learn about this, to go deeper in this direction, and to know more about data science and how to apply it to the agriculture.
I will have the same question for you. Jenna, can you introduce yourself? Where are you from?
So I'm Jenna. I'm 19. I'm Lebanese and Senegalese. I moved to France 2 years ago. So actually, I'm in second year in ICEF, the ICEF program of UniLaSalle. And yes, before that, I did all my high school in Senegal, in Dakar. And yes, that's it.
Thanks a lot. Anthony, can you present the different programs?
Okay, so we do have 4 programs taught in English. Most of our program are taught so in English in our campus in Rouen. So the first program, let's start by the Bachelor, is the Bachelor and Master Integrated Program ISAFE. ISAFE stands for International Sustainable Agribusiness and Food Engineering. Here, technically, we work to tackle the big challenges of agriculture, of environment, because we know in 2050 climate change will be even stronger. We'll be around 9 billion people around the world. How do we face the challenge in terms of quantity of production and quality? So that's one of the main topic in this bachelor and master. Then it's a 5-year program, and in some of the specialization you have the Master of Sciences. The second program is Urban Agriculture and Green Cities. It's a master. Here we more focus on the topic of climate change also inside cities, how to make our cities greener, how to train managers and specialists to resolve many issues. We will be 75% of people will live in cities in 2050, so it's also a big challenge in terms of agriculture, in terms of climate change. The number 3 is agricultural and food data management. It's a master program. We collect data, digital is everywhere in your everyday life, but how do we use this data for agriculture? How we make agriculture more efficient, how we make it more sustainable? And finally, the program Sustainable Management and Eco-Innovation, based in Rennes in cooperation with Rennes School of Business. Here we talk about eco-innovation, commerce, and environmental topic, how to implement environmental policies inside companies, for example.
What is the profile of your international student? Do they have to have an interest for the environmental questions?
Not necessarily. Of course, most of them have an interest in biology or agriculture, or some of them in architecture for urban agriculture. Yes, it's important for them to have at least that they're sensitive to it. However, it's not a must. Some are already discovering the topic. In some countries, the topic is not big yet, but some people are more conscious and start to be more careful about their environment, how it's, what are the impacts and things like this.
And where do the courses take place?
So the courses take place in Rouen. They also do have a semester abroad. Also, they do, for example, for the ISAFE program, they go to Brussels, Parma, Barcelona to do a 1-week study trip. And the program Sustainable Management is in Rennes, between Rennes School of Business and our engineering campus.
Jenna, can you tell us what are your school days like? How does it feel to be a student here at UniLaSalle?
Well, I guess it's like a basic school day. Usually we start at 8:45 a.m., which is correct, I think. Sometimes we can start later and we have classes all day. Well, with the pandemic, it has been distancial. But usually, yes, that's like a normal day at break. We can enjoy it. It's like a very beautiful school. So that's it.
And what are the different courses that you have in your program?
Oh, we have a lot of classes. Actually, we have many different subjects. We have the basics ones, such as maths, physics, chemicals, etc. But we also have very interesting subjects, such as sustainable project management or Portuguese, for example.
And
what
is your favorite class?
My favorite class is definitely sustainable project management.
Why?
Because in fact, I guess when we study maths and physics, I know it's useful, but as a student, we cannot directly apply it. But in sustainable project management, we have to think. I think it's really the kind of courses where we can link theory and practice. It's like develop our critical thinking, and I guess it's one of the most interesting classes we can have.
Anthony, can you tell us more about the different classes that the students have in the different programs?
All right, so technically for ISAFE, as it is a 5-year program, they have 3 years more on the basic, like mathematics, as Jenna said, chemistry, biology, also language classes, that they get a strong scientific knowledge. And then in the specialization, for example, in agriculture and food data management, they will work more on the statistics, more in some software, how to really apply what they are learning inside a company, not only the theory, but also the practice. So we really try to connect our theory with the practice.
And what are the specificities of UniLaSalle's pedagogy?
So we have an integral pedagogy. So in most of the engineering school, we say we have a strong academic knowledge and classes. Yes, that's important for us. We have a second point. It's the personal development. We really push it. It's really important for us. We say from 6 p.m. to 8 a.m. So most of our students are part of some association, for example, charities or sport clubs. And it's important for them because it's where they will get one of the first position, for example, president of an association, but also that they invest their time in something meaningful. And for example, our rugby tournament, for example, every year they give back to charities 50,000 euros from the benefits they have made.
José, another question for you. Did you have some fears before coming in France? What were your fears?
Yeah, sure. I think it's normal, no, to have some fears before starting a new adventure. For me, it was one of them was the French, also because I was participating in the first promotion of the Master Agricultural and Food Data Management. So part of the master was taught in French, but it was not a problem finally. And other of them was the cold, because I live in Seville. The weather here is so nice, and everybody was telling me, "Wow, run! It's so bad. It's always raining." So it was one of my fear. Maybe the weather could make me, be sad or something like that. But no, it's not a problem. Also, neither. So it was fine.
Jenna, same question for you. What were your fears before joining UniLaSalle?
Well, I guess it's the same fears as just like moving into a new country where you're alone. I was afraid to not settle in. I was afraid to not make new connections, to not meet new people, or just to not feel comfortable in the school. But I was really surprised because it was really the opposite. Finally, when you just join a new school, you just meet some people and all your fears just disappear. I was also afraid of the weather because I come from Dakar, which is really, it's really not the same temperature at all. But finally, I just got used. So.
That's cool. How many students do you accept in your programs, Anthony?
So it depends on the program. So for the iSafe program, for this year will be around 70 people. 1/3 to 1/4 are international students from different nationality, from Senegal, Zimbabwe, the US, Lebanon. So it's quite open, and also French students. We do also accept French students in our program, of course. And for the other masters, so for Master of Agriculture and Green Cities, we are about 15 to 20 places per year. And for the Sustainable Management, from our side, it's 5 people. But Rennes School of Business has a bit more, so it's classes of around 50 to 60 people.
And what are the requirements in terms of diplomas to apply?
Okay, so first let's start with English. If the student is not from a country with English as an official language or didn't study in English, the requirement will be to do a test, the B2 test, so in TOEIC, TOEFL or IELTS. Then for requirements, if you join the iSafe program, you need to have done a bit of biology, mathematics, chemistry, for example. And for urban agriculture, here we are more for people coming from a background of architecture, or people coming from a background of agriculture or biology or urban design. Data, we are more with people from informatics or agriculture. It's really a mix of both, so that's really interesting. And sustainable management, we are more open. People can come from a background of business, of course, or a background of biology or agriculture.
And what are the different steps to apply?
Okay, so we have 3 steps to join us technically. So step number 1, apply online on our website, so unilasalle.fr/en. You fill a form, you really take the time. It's really important for students to take the time really to fill the form, to know why you apply and things like this. Then there is the jury. If they accept the first, you are accepted in the second round, which it's the interview. It's done online. Here it's a motivational interview, just to know why you choose UniLaSalle, why this program, why this interest, for example, for environment or for other topics. And then after you are accepted, and then the step 3 is when we start to work on the housing and welcome services.
Jenna, how was your application process like? Was it complicated?
No, not at all. I was in a French high school, so it was through a platform which is called Parcoursup. And then after I had the interview with Miss Lemerzheim, and they asked me questions like the ones that Mr. Anthony just told you, and I just answered, and it was really simple. I just had to still myself, and it worked.
What kind of questions was it?
It was really the same as Mr. Anthony told you. Why UniLaSalle? How do you think about what do you think about sustainable management, sustainable development, the environment, and why do you want to come in our school and another? So yes, it was simple questions, and yes, that's it.
And do you have some tips maybe for the international student watching us? What would you advise them?
Before coming to UniLaSalle or for the interview?
For the interview.
Okay, just answer, tell the truth. Don't lie, I would tell them to say themselves, and it will work. If they're really interesting in coming to UniLaSalle, it will work.
Thanks a lot. Anthony, is it possible to study abroad during the ISEF program and during the MSCs?
So for the ISEF program, yes. So in semester 5, so year 3, you can go abroad, for example, Brazil, US, Mexico, Philippines. So this is an exchange, classical exchange. But we also have in year 5 a possibility to study abroad for 1 year, and that's an important year because you can have a double degree. For example, you spend some time in the UK in Cranfield University or in Wageningen in the Netherlands, and here you will get a French degree of UniLaSalle and a degree from Wageningen University in the Netherlands, or it can be also in Canada for University of Laval. So there is this part, but you can also do your internship abroad. That's possible in the different years.
José, did you have the opportunity to study abroad?
Yes, during my master degree, which lasts 3 months, I stayed the first month in France, but then the second month I made an internship of 1 month in Switzerland in a multinational company working in databases, creating automatic extraction and so on. And then during the last semester, I was working in Italy for another company which is working on digitalization of the agriculture and so on, to do my official internship during 5 months, and also the thesis to finish my degree. So I consider that I was lucky that I knew new places and so on during my master.
And how many partner university do you have, Anthony?
So we have currently about 260 partners. So that's quite wide in more than 80 countries. So, but we also have our partners from the LaSalle network. So we are part of the LaSalle network. LaSalle network, it's 1 million students all around the world, from primary school to university. So we are a university. If you go to Peru, if you go to US, you will meet the LaSalle network. And we also have this partner, which are strong partners for us.
Let's talk now about the professionalization. How many internships is it possible for the students to do during the programs?
So for the Master of Sciences, so they have 1 year academic and 6-month internship, so they can do one internship of 5 to 6 months. In the iSafe program, they have almost an internship every year, so in year 1 it's like 1 month. And the more they get to year 5, the longer the internship are. So at the end, it's like 6 months. And this internship really connect them to the companies from scratch, for example, in year 1. And year 5, it's really where they specialize. For example, if they say, I'm more into marketing and agriculture and agri-food, I can specialize in the internship in marketing and agri-food abroad, like for example in Switzerland, as you said. So that's quite open.
And do you help them to find opportunities?
Yes, so we have a career center. We have one person or more people, for example, in Beauvais, to answer questions, to prepare them for the interview, to correct their resume. We also have a database where they can find all the internship. What is important also to say is that we are not going to place them. We help them, because when students will be in the job market, they will have to learn and to search by themselves. But we give them all the keys that they are ready to apply and to get an internship.
Jenna, did you already have the opportunity to do an internship?
Yes, but unfortunately, because of the pandemic, I did it in Senegal, in Dakar.
Why is it unfortunate? That's cool.
Well, yes, that's cool, but I think that it's a great opportunity when we have internship to move, go abroad, to discover new countries and new know-how.
Because you're from Senegal, so it's your place,
yes,
you know already about it. But what did you do during this internship?
I did it in a company that it was more in the quality service. It was in an agribusiness company that was producing biscuits. So it was interesting to discover the process, to discover how these kind of companies work, how do they manage the quality departments. So it was still interesting, but I would have liked to move abroad.
That would be for your next internships. You still have time for that. Same question for you, José. What did you do as internships?
My internship plus thesis at the same time was working for creating prediction models, specifically for yield on wheat. So using data from different sources, like NTDI from satellite, or weather data from sensor, from climate station, and so on, we try to predict the yield of the wheat.
And what can we do after these different programs? What are the different job opportunities for your students?
So the opportunities are really wide, because what I didn't say is that when we say agriculture, sometimes people think about farming, but most of our students work in close to the field, but are not farmers, because agriculture is also, for example, what you wear is your textile. Also, the chair or the table are made of wood. Biomaterials also made of wood or other elements. So it's quite wide. First, what I want to say, for example, we have most of our students will go to technical and sales, because they have a strong knowledge of scientific background and they have this business background. Some are consultants, for example, for the case of José. And we have another part in the marketing sector. And after we have other people. So what I want to say is that it's really opening opportunities. It's really not limited to the sector of agriculture. I even met sometimes alumni when I go abroad, which work, for example, in the perfume sector, or it's really different. Yeah.
And what salaries can your student expect?
Yeah, so it depends on the program and where you want to work. For example, if we take a student who want to work for a big agri-food company, for example, who does chocolates, without naming any company, it can be really high. But some also go to startups, So it really depends. So it's not always an easy question to answer. It really depends on what the student wants to do. But our average is about 32 to 33,000 euros per year after graduation.
José, what did you do just after your graduation?
So it was very fast because I finished my I graduated last March, and I started to work in the company in May. So it was in only 1 month. During the coronavirus and so on. And I am working for a technological consultant, working for different projects about software development or data science or something like that. But also I wanted to stay close to the university, so I started an industrial PhD between the company and the University of Córdoba in Spain, where we want to work about the new system to help farmers, to help all the industries in the food sector to digitalize their processes.
And Jenna, do you already know where you want to work after your diploma?
Well, that's a difficult question. I know that I'm really interested in working in the sustainable development sector, maybe help the companies to move toward more sustainable way of producing or thinking. And I know it's really interesting to work in the sustainable development, especially in Africa. So it would be really interesting for me to develop this.
Do you accept a student with the apprenticeship program? How does it work at UniLaSalle?
Yes, so students for the iSafe program can do apprenticeship. They can start in year 3 or year 4. For the iSafe, it hasn't started yet in English, but we do propose it in French. We hope by next year, in 2 years, we open the apprenticeship in English. I should maybe explain also what is it for some of people on live. It's a system where from the year 3 you spend half of the time in a company, half of the time at school. For example, 1 month in, let's say, for example, a big company like Danone or Coca-Cola, and then you study 1 month after at UniLaSalle. The companies pays you a salary, of course, and also the fees. So you're almost free from your parents, let's say.
And you're having a really important work experience that you can value after when you are looking for your first job opportunity. Let's have a word back about pedagogy and about the lockdown, because of the crisis, we all experienced a very complicated situation. How did you adapt your pedagogy to this situation?
So, of course, yes, as all the universities around the world, we had to tackle this challenge. So we switched most of our program online for the theory. For more of a practice, students still came, for example, for last month. That's the part of academics. Professors were still available, able to answer questions. We found solution. That's the academic part. And the personal development, professor or head of program had several meetings with students one by one. That's the advantage of UniLaSalle, is that we are on a human scale. We are not like really, really big classes. We work on small scale. So the head of the program was able to have a call or have a chat every 2 weeks or every week with the students.
Let's talk now about some practical information. My first question is really easy. How much does it cost to study at UniLaSalle?
So we go from about 7,000 to 10,000 euro per year for the different program. For the master will be around 8,300 euros for the full program, and iSafe, it depends if from EU or non-EU, from 7 to 10,000. Yeah.
And is it possible to have some financial help to pay these costs?
Yeah, we do propose scholarship, so it's need-based and academic scholarship. They go from 10% to 75% of the tuition fees. Students apply after they have been accepted. Then we check the bank statements. We also check what are their grades from the interview and things like this. And then we adapt. And last thing we have is the honor loan or loans from UniLaSalle or from our partners. It's a 0% rate loan. Students have about 6,000 every year, and when they have a job, they start to pay back the university.
And how does UniLaSalle help the students through the different procedures, such as the visa, such as the way to find accommodation on campus? How do you help them?
So we have welcome services, of course, who also speak English, of course. So they help to find housing. For the case of, for example, for Beauvais, housing is owned by the school. For the other campuses, we have our partner Cruz. So we have them. We guarantee housing for all our students. So we have them on this. Then we follow them step by step. We to know where they are, for example, for visa application. If they need more documents, we sometimes add documents. If sometimes happen that some students are afraid of a visa session, so we offer sometimes a call just to have them that they are more relaxed about it and to be sure that they have all the documents.
Jenna, can you describe a bit the place you live? You are in Rouen, right?
Yes.
And do you live in an apartment, in a house, with roommates? How is it?
Well, last year I was living in an accommodation really near to school. But I really much prefer to live near to the city, so I moved this year near the train station in an apartment. I'm alone, but I don't really think it's a problem for me. Mm-hmm. And I'm really happy with this apartment.
And how is the student life at UniLaSalle? How does it feel, Jenna, to be a student there?
Really, I was nervous before coming because, as I told you, I thought I couldn't settle in. But it was really, it's a really nice student life. All the students are kind of mixing together. We all talk to each other, and within our class, there's a lot of international because it's very international oriented. So in fact, we have different cultures, different traditions, different way of thinking, and it's really interesting to mix them and to try to understand them. So I really appreciate the student life in UniLaSalle.
José, what is your best memory of your student years at UniLaSalle?
It's difficult to take one, but I have to say that I was surprised with the student atmosphere inside the university, because maybe one day you are having lessons, and during the night you go to the party to the same place. So I mean, that was surprising for me, because I didn't live that in my university in Spain. So I was participating in different clubs and organizations inside the university. For example, the football team, or an organization about farming agriculture, organic farming. Sorry. So I mean, I found a special atmosphere inside the university that helped for sure to the new student to adapt.
If the people watching us want more information about the program, about the different steps to apply, and if they want maybe to begin their registration process, where can they go?
So they can go directly on our website. What I advise is that they check on each program. So they go on unilasalle.fr/en. Each program they check, there is the application form. If they have more questions, there is an email down they can just write down. Even right now in the comments there are people also answering questions if they want to receive flyers. That's really the moment they can directly ask questions also.
Jenna, José, to conclude, I will ask you to say in your mother language maybe a sentence for the people watching us, starting with you, Jenna. What would you like to say?
Well, my mother tongue could be Arabic, so I could say marhaba, which is just welcome, if you want to join UniLaSalle.
That's cool. Same question for you, José. What would you like to say to conclude for our international watcher?
Yes, sure. Solo decir que bienvenidos, quien quiera entrar en la gran familia de UniLaSalle, que será una gran decisión tanto personal como profesionalmente y que te abrirá puertas para tu futuro, para tu carrera futura.
And what does it mean in English?
In English means that welcome to people who decide to study in UniLaSalle because it's a family. It would be a great decision for your future and your career.
And same question for you, but in English, what do you want to say to conclude this interview, Anthony?
So welcome at UniLaSalle. Apply now. Don't wait to apply. And hope to see you soon in September or October.
Thanks a lot, Anthony, Jenna, and José, for your time, and thanks for having been with us. And thanks a lot for your attention. If you want more information, you can go to the website of UniLaSalle, and I will say see you soon on Campus France.